All right, so I got to talk about 1989 before we get into it.
There it is.
It is stacked.
You think it's stacked? You know, it's so funny. I was looking through and I'm like, I was having a hard time. But let's see why you think it was stacked. Let's see.
The summer lineup was pretty nuts. From April to August, you had Major League, Say Anything, Pet Sematary, Field of Dreams. Then it went back, and the box office then blew up with Roadhouse. You had Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade, Dead Poets Society, Star Trek: The Final Frontier, Ghostbusters II, which broke the opening day box office the week before Batman. Batman, the next week after Ghostbusters 2 comes out, breaks the record by a mile.
Wait till they get a load of me.
Oh, and that same weekend as Batman, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah, I was wrong. It's a very stacked lineup. What's our podiums?
Yeah, all right, you go first.
Okay, so number one's Batman.
What are you? I'm Batman.
Number two is Back to the Future 2. Now, that was hard, actually. I mean, because Batman Returns is so much more important to me than Batman the original. I almost put Back to the Future 2 because that was a classic. I watched that way more than the first one. I really liked going to the future and going back to the past. There's that scene, and it's classic now. It's been redone and stuff where he takes you on the blackboard and he does the alternate timelines and he shows where you branched off. And I just remember being like,
somewhere in the past, the timeline skewed into this tangent, creating an alternate 1985.
So Back to the Future 2 is big for me. And then my third one, Uncle Buck. A classic growing up. One of my favorite movies. Yes, that's to me my favorite John Candy movie personally. Just because it was one of those VHSs we had and I just wore it out. You know, I just watched it all the time.
I'm Anita Horgarth.
Buck melanoma. Molly Russell's wart.
All right, Daniel, what's your list?
Mine actually went with the worldwide gross. Legitimately, the order of 3, 2, 1. Number 3 is Back to the Future Part 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Biff Tannen Museum.
Number 2 is Batman.
Vicky Vale.
Bruce Wayne.
And what do you do for a living?
And number 1 is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
No ticket.
I'm an indie dude, and Last Crusade is my favorite of the 3. It might not be the best. I think Raiders is still the best, but my favorite is Last Crusade.
I did not have Batman in my top 3. My number 3 is Little Mermaid.
Up where they stay all day in the sun, wandering free. Wish I could be.
My number 2 is Last Crusade.
Junior? Don't call me that, please.
And my number 1, I did mention it, maybe on my all-time podium, Major League.
This guy here is dead.
Cross him off then.